of 64 is set. Only 4 will survive to make the trip to New Orleans. To reach it, they must get past the top seeds. In the West, Derry Tarkanians running Rebels. Just 1 loss this year, and most of it, they've been ranked the nation's best. The East top seed, North Carolina. Dean Smith's Tar Heels lost in the ACC tournament final, just their 3rd this year. They open in their home state. Likewise for Bobby Knight's Indiana Hoosiers. They were beaten only 3 times in the tough Big Ten. They're expected to rock the Hoosier Dome. The Southeast is headed up by John Thompson and the Georgetown Hoyas. The Big East tournament champions have won 11 straight. It's up next.
ESPN presents NCAA Tournament Today. Live first-round action from the NCAA Basketball Tournament.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the NCAA Tournament Today. And what a day we have for you here on our first day of coverage of this tournament. We'll start it out at noon in just a while. Xavier, the number 13 seed in the Midwest, going up against Missouri, the number 4 seed. That one is coming up next. And we'll follow that up with 4 more live games at 2:30. Middle Tennessee State against Notre Dame. That follows at 4:30 as we move to the West with Idaho State going up against the Runnin' Rebels of Nevada, Las Vegas. At 7 o'clock, Bob Lee will step in here, and we'll have more. Michigan against Navy, that one at 7 from the East. And also from the East, North Carolina, the number 1 seed, going against the Quakers of Penn. They are the last seed in the East Regional. What a day we have for you here. As usual, we are joined by Dick Vitale. Dick Vitale comes in to join us as we kick it all off here, and this is a dream come true. This is what the whole season's all about.
John, a smorgasbord of basketball right now. ESPN, hoop hysteria will be running wild, and certainly a time that I get excited about because it's a great time of the year. I think some things out there the fans can really watch and observe. The shot clock, number 1, now combined with a 3-point shot, certainly can change the complexion of a game. I definitely feel the rules favor the better talent.
Okay, we'll have more comments from you because I know you don't have much opinions coming up. Xavier in Missouri, it's coming up next from the Midwest Regional, the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. Stay with us. ESPN presents NCAA Tournament Today, Missouri versus Xavier. Brought to you by Budweiser, the genuine article. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By BMW, the ultimate driving machine. To arrange a thorough test drive, simply phone your nearest BMW dealer. And by the financial professionals at Payne Weber Incorporated. From the Midwest Regional at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're about to go there in just a moment. Xavier will go against Missouri. Dick Vitale with us now. And Dick, when you talk about Missouri in this game, you can talk about the Band-Aid man, Derek Chivas.
I love Derek Chivas. I really believe right now he rates ahead of Reggie Miller from UCLA on my chart, looking at the great small forwards. Number 1, I would have Reggie Williams from over Georgetown. But number 2, I moved Miller down because of a lack of defensive effort, and I moved Chivas up. The Band-Aid man came from New York City, went to Missouri, and has just been a dynamite scorer and just done a great job. But I'll tell you one thing about the Missouri team. They're playing in one of the toughest conferences in America. What used to be a football conference, John, has now become an outstanding conference to where I rate them as one of the top 5 conferences behind the Big East, the ACC, and certainly the SEC, with the Big Ten being number 1.
Of course, Missouri as well, a team that has no seniors. They are a young team. And Derek Chivas, a budding Dick Vitale, they tell us as well. As we move to Xavier, they have a kid by the name of Byron Larkin, who might be somebody most people don't know that much about.
Larkin comes from a family that's rich in athletic tradition. His brother looks like he'll be the starting shortstop for Pete Rose and his Cincinnati Reds. He's an outstanding athlete, came out of Michigan. His other brother was a linebacker at Notre Dame and was drafted in the NFL. So this family knows a little bit about winning. A great scorer. He is one of the leading scorers in America that will be returning next year from the junior class. But the key to Peter Gillen's team, and Gillen did a great job at Notre Dame as an assistant, and a lot of people are going to be after Gillen. It's going to be tougher for them to keep him in Xavier. He's an outstanding leader. But the real asset to that club was when Kimbrough start playing great basketball. You watch the backcourt of Kimbrough and Larkin. They can rate with the best around. And Xavier has an outstanding scoring team. But I think Missouri might have a little too much. The edge, don't tell the people in Cincinnati, but I got to give it to Missouri because of their size and because of playing in a tough, tough Big 8.
A lot of people are saying Missouri is a team that could possibly slip into the Final Four. Xavier can do it with their quickness right now. Well, you can talk more about that in just a moment. Xavier against Missouri. It is coming your way from the Midwest Regional, from the Hoosier Zone in Indianapolis. Stay with us. We'll be right back. The Midwest Regional, the first game coming your way in just a moment. Before we went to break, Dick Vitale took exception with what I said about Missouri, a possible team to slip into the Final Four. You do say there is a team in there that could pull off some upsets, though.
Well, I think Georgia Tech definitely can pull an upset. I think it's the weakest region. I think the Midwest definitely ranks as the weakest, with the Southeast as the best. Okay, we want to go to the Hoosier Dome right now. It is the Midwest Regional. Let's go to Tom Hammond and Jim Gibbons.
Here are the officials for this afternoon's game. John Clockerty on the left is the referee, joined by John Bonder and Dave Baird. First college game ever played in the Hoosier Dome. And a temporary floor, which has that familiar parquet pattern that we're used to seeing when the Boston Celtics play. Here are the starting lineups again. For Xavier, Campbell, Taylor, Hill, Larkin averaging almost 25 a game, and Kimbrough. And for Missouri, Chivas, who hits for nearly 25, Sandbody, Leonard, Coward, and Hardy. As the higher-seeded team, Missouri wears the home white uniforms. Missouri seeded 4th, and Xavier seeded 13th. First meeting between Missouri and Xavier from the Hoosier Dome as we tip off the NCAA tournament. Batted around, and finally, Larkin saves it. He was on the line. It'll go to Missouri. And looks like the Musketeers. Here's Chivas, Derek Chivas, at 6'7", plays either guard or forward. He's the high scorer on this Missouri team. Looks like Xavier man-to-man. Shot by Chivas is good. The first two of the game. Derek Chivas of Missouri. Mizzou with a 2-0 lead in the opening minute from the Hoosier Dome. Kimbrough with a 14-footer, no good. Hill rebounds, his follow no good. Hill got it again and is knocked to the floor. First foul of the game called on Missouri, and Jim, we saw Xavier hitting the offensive boards there. We said that would be a concern for them.
The thing is, they have such a disadvantage height-wise underneath, and that was great second and third effort by Tyrone Hill.
You had a look at the trademark Band-Aid over the eye of Derek Chivas, who picks up the first foul of the game.
Called it before the shot, so it's out of bounds.
Taylor's shot is good, and Xavier is on the board. Missouri quickly down court. Sandbody to the basket. Not there, but the follow is good by Leonard.
See, anytime a team presses, Tom, when you press full court, you weigh the turnovers against the easy baskets you might give up, and that time Missouri had the 2-on-1 advantage.
And the Tigers up 4-2. We played just over a minute. Opening round game in the NCAA tournament.
You're looking at that tight, aggressive man-to-man defense by Missouri, and they are noted for it.
Coach Norm Stewart said their defense has been ahead of their offense all season. Larkin is triple teamed and walks.
They have been extremely consistent defensively, and as you said, that's what kept them in until the offense caught up.
Chivas has it knocked away, but it's saved by Leonard, and Missouri sets it up on the half court with a 4-2 lead. Inside to Hardy. Dished off to Leonard. No good. Rebounded by Xavier. It's on the court and picked up by Larkin. Byron Larkin in a hurry from 14. No good. Rebound right back to Larkin. And Xavier sets it up.
Boy, right now, the tempo of the game in every way is in Xavier's favor. I know it's early, but they're doing a lot of things well defensively and off of the offensive board.
Trying to post up inside was Campbell, and the pass overshot the mark, and Xavier turns it over. Here's Missouri against that full court pressure, just half-hearted pressure now as Xavier drops back.
Little containment just to control the tempo of the game.
Hardy straight away. Sandbody. Coward and to Leonard. Missouri working its half-court offense. Chivas dips it inside to Leonard. Shot by Coward, no good. Good position by Campbell on the defensive board, and Xavier on the outlet pass to Larkin. Knocked away and stolen by Hardy. Hardy takes it coast to coast for his first two.
Not bad. I thought he was going to take the ball off the floor, Tom, and get the defensive player moving back and forth, but he had control all the way, and that's a nice move. Biggest lead of the game for either team. Missouri has a 4-point edge. We played 3 minutes of this first-round game from the Hoosier Dome. Larkin, way off the mark, and Leonard rebounds for Missouri. Well, Larkin thought he got hammered that time. You saw the look he gave the official, and he did miss that shot enough time that I thought he got hit. He was way off the mark. He didn't even draw iron. Hit the side of the backboard. Sandbody looks inside. Gives it up to Hardy. His short jump shot rims out and rebounded by Kimbrough. Here comes Xavier, but Missouri backed very well on defense. Kimbrough, the point guard, sets it up. Missouri still man-to-man. Larkin guarded by Hardy. Got a pick. Larkin lost the ball out of bounds. Last touch by Missouri. Now that was a different offensive set that time for Xavier. First time they set up that way, and they got Larkin into a one-on-one position. Greg Church, number 33, in for Missouri, a 6'7" sophomore from Palmyra, Missouri, averaging 6 points a game. And you have a look at Campbell, who exited the Xavier lineup, replaced by J.D. Barnett, 6'4" junior from Cincinnati, hits for 5 a game. Barnett has come back from injuries and has really helped this Xavier team. Kimbrough open just inside the three-point line. Will go, and rebounded by Church. Missouri sets it up, leading 6-2. Chivas inside. It'll count, and he's fouled. Boy, listen, I spoke to about 2 or 3 coaches, Tom, in the Big 8 conference, and they told me this guy is absolutely incredible at drawing fouls. Watch. There's a perfect example of forcing the contact and finishing the shot, which is what he does every time. They told me that young man can shoot you in or shoot you out of a basketball game, and I assume when he's averaging 24-4 that he shot him in more than out. Chivas from Jamaica, New York, came west to play his basketball, and you see his average on the season. He has hit 241 free throws this season, and that is more than anyone else in college basketball. 296 attempts at the line. That's incredible. 5 points for Chivas, and Missouri with its biggest lead at 7. Now another offensive set. They went into the double low to spring out of that. Taken away inside, and a foul on Missouri. The one thing I want you to watch, Tom, and the viewers to watch, is Missouri plays the same kind of a defense that Indiana does. That's an aggressive, extremely hard pressure on the ball. The best principles of the zone also with the weak side help. They really slough off, and you could see it in this shot right here. There's the contact right there. Good camera work. And a foul on Hardy, his first, the second against the Tigers. Knocked out of bounds by Chivas, back to the Musketeers. There's that Band-Aid over Chivas' right eye. That's his trademark. He keeps playing this well. A lot of players are going to be wearing the Band-Aid. You are kidding, and he wears it everywhere. Shoulder, knee, up on the forehead, anywhere. Every game it's somewhere different. Taylor's outside shot, no good. Xavier again on the offensive board, and a putback by Hill. Chivas quickly down court for Missouri, lays it in. Caught Xavier napping. You just don't want to score one and work as hard as Xavier has to work and then give up an easy one at the other run. That was a breakdown on defense. In a 7-point lead for Missouri, Derek Chivas with 7 points, and Xavier turns it over again. The Xavier Musketeers struggling to handle the ball and struggling to get Byron Larkin into the game. Trail by 7. We've got a timeout on the court with a score, Missouri 11, Xavier 4.
in Indianapolis. A surprise underway. Xavier leads it by 4 at the half, and as we turn to Dick Vitale for our comments on the first half, rebounding the key. You're not going to win many games if you get out-rebounded like that.
Well, at one time they were down 20, I believe, 1-6, and my math tells me that's better than 3-1. And Missouri, you would think, would be the better rebounding team. Also, Missouri not going to the free throw line, and they did a great job, Xavier, of containing Chivas. It looks like he was going to get out for a big, big day and have an explosion, but Peter Gillen's done an outstanding job. Let me tell you about Gillen. There were rumors that he was going to be headed for Fordham University, but he loves it in the Midwest. He has an outstanding team coming back. Look for him to stay there, but eventually I look for him to get one of those big mega-bug jobs. Mention Fordham, watch out for Jimmy Lynam, the assistant coach now with the Philadelphia 76ers, where, you know, Harold Katz is an explosive guy. And I think they're getting a little nervous there in Philadelphia. So Lynam, who said no at first to Fordham, all of a sudden said, I'm interested. So now watch Jimmy Lynam, maybe the coach, be a great choice for Fordham.
Okay, we're going to have more when we come back, of course. In this game, Xavier leads it at the half. A surprise as they're up on Missouri. Missouri, the number 4 seed. Another game underway, that in the East, Marshall and TCU. TCU leads that game at the half. And we'll also preview New Orleans, a team on their way possibly to stay at home for the Final Four. The NCAA tournament today continues. We'll be back. The Xavier Musketeers leading Missouri 36-32 at the half.
ESPN's live NCAA basketball tournament coverage continues Thursday. 2 of the nation's potential national champions square off in the day's best regional semifinal. Live Thursday at 6:30 Eastern.
Now back to the Hoosier Dome.
Tom Hammond and Jim Gibbons from the Hoosier Dome with 4:17 left, and Xavier leading Missouri 62-56. Derek Chivas, the Missouri All-American, without a point in the second half.
Absolutely amazing, because he has really disappeared for the first 16 minutes of this half, and that's to Xavier's credit, because they have really done a terrific job on it.
Winner of this game advances to meet the winner of the Duke-Texas A&M contest on Saturday.
Staying right in that zone defense with all those matchup principles, and it's really got Missouri standing around, Tom.
Church on a wing looking inside. Remember, Chivas has not scored a point in the second half. Puts that one up. Campbell blocked it. Chivas goes into the defense, and the foul will be on Kimbrough of Xavier. That's his second personal foul.
Chivas and Larkin have a lot of the same tendencies. They really know how to get shots off in traffic. Now watch, and they both lean in a lot and draw contact, and that's what he did again there. People have asked him why he's so good at that. He said, you know, when you play on the playgrounds in New York, we don't have any referees and we don't call any fouls. You just have to get that ball up in the glass some way.
9 points all in the first half for the All-American. Missed the free throw. He is 81% normally at the free throw line, and Kimbrough celebrates.
Well, I think he hurt himself when he went down to the floor, and he was asking Peter Gillen about, I thought, coming out. Let's see what happens.
First point of the second half for Derek Chivas. He has 10 for the game. Hits double figures for the 62nd time in his last 65 games. Makes it a 5-point game.
Hey, look at how they clear out and let him go one-on-one. That's good.
Chivas, Missouri's all-time leading scorer, set 6 records for the Tigers this season, but his offense has not been in the game for Missouri.
Now, at the timeout, I said to you, Tom, let's see what Xavier does. Let's see if they start spreading out the floor and burning some time off the clock.
Larkin forced it up, no good. Got his own rebound and lays it, no good.
Wow.
Meanwhile, there's Kimbrough standing at the line waiting for the substitution to come in. It's Devin Rolfe.
So you get that 30 seconds to get that sub in there, and I'm sure that Norm Stewart is smart enough that he's going to wait for as much of that 30 seconds and let Kimbrough stand at that line. That's no good.
Missed it, rebounded by Missouri, and the Tigers have a chance to tie or take the lead.
72% free throw shooter, but that wasn't even close.
Hardy dishes inside. Church is surrounded by blue shirts. Give it to Button. His shot partially blocked on the floor. Larkin has it, and he's fouled by Chivas. They got a good shot, but they couldn't hit.
Yep. And boy, you can't get any better than that. That was good ball movement. They got trapped down on the baseline. They hit the guy right at the top of the key. The pass went, the reversal on the other side. Wide open shot, as you said, Tom. They just couldn't get it. And Xavier went after the rebound. They hustled and got fouled. If he puts these in, it's going to force them to the three-point shot. Watch now. Look at Larkin. Boy, he knew where that ball was. He's going right after it. Cheaters. Now, you've got to see, he almost knocked him off balance, and you've got to protect the man with the ball. That's a good call.
31 seconds left. Larkin's free throw is good.
I watch him shoot those free throws. I'm beginning to think at times he is a man with no pulse.
28 points and 9 rebounds for Byron Larkin. He hits 2. That makes it a 4-point lead. It's 70-66 Xavier.
See, now you got to defend against that three. See, there's the three-point shot right away.
Hardy can't hit. Rebounded by Hill to Larkin, and a foul on Missouri. And the Xavier fans begin to spell victory. So do the players.
Well, at the three-point play, it's a little too early to ever start celebrating, I'm convinced, after what we've seen this year, Tom. But here's your man, the one we talked about before. The great thing is when you've got a guard like that, you know, that you can put the ball in his hands because he can control it, number one, and number two, he's great at the free throw line, so you just force the other team to continually foul you.
Greg Tree with new life. 20 seconds left. They trail by only 4. Hardy lost it out of bounds, but it was last touched by Xavier. 70-66 Xavier. 16 ticks of the clock left. Hardy for 3. Good. 70-69, a 1-point Xavier lead. 7 seconds left. They got a foul. Kimbrough in front court. 4 seconds left. Campbell makes a save. Larkin. No good, but Xavier holds on to win in a frantic last few seconds. Missouri needed a foul to stop the clock, and they couldn't get anybody.
Just couldn't get to anyone, and I thought they were going to foul Kimbrough, Tom, because he threw up the one earlier that didn't even come close, and I was going to say, if they're going to foul anyone, that's the man that you want to foul. But boy, it just seemed like Xavier, playing with their heads up, found the open man, almost threw it away a couple of times, but they found the open man and got it in the hands of Larkin. Ironically, he missed the lay-in again.
Larkin with 29 points, the hero for Xavier, as they hold on to beat Missouri by 1 at 70-69. We'll be back to
the NCAA tournament only a couple of games old, and already we have our first upset. Xavier winning, the number 13 seed, beating the number 4 seed in the Midwest as Missouri, the champions in the Big 8, go down today and lose this one. And Dick Vitale, a couple of keys to this game. Byron Larkin on the line and rebounding.
I think Byron Larkin definitely will lead the nation or be in the top 2 or 3 scorers in America next year. He was 9th this year, a bona fide scorer, a slashing player, and they got to be happy with his performance. On the other side, Derek Chivas, I praised him. I said I'll take him ahead of Reggie Miller. Chivas today, for most of the game, was AWOL, was not in the game at all. Then all of a sudden at the end, he tried to turn it on. But you couldn't deny Xavier today. They played a better basketball game. They beat him on the glass, which was really surprising.
Xavier, as you say, moves along with the win over Missouri. So let's take a look at the brackets and see how they line up now. Xavier with the win over Missouri will now face the winner of the Duke-Texas A&M game. That game coming away in just about half an hour. Duke going up against Texas A&M, the surprise team in from the Southwest Conference. Xavier, though, has the win over Missouri here. Xavier advancing at this point. We'll be back with more in just a moment, as we continue on NCAA Tournament today. Xavier, the surprise winner over Missouri by 1. We'll return in just a moment. ESPN presents NCAA Tournament today, Missouri versus Xavier.